Alright guys, this is Todd with Survival Sherpa, out here at camp today, and had a request by a couple of folks to, after I posted that blog on 16 uses of pine resin, and so what I thought I'd do is I'd go ahead and share with you what we're doing today. My buddy Joe is out here with me today, and we're going to make some pine resin glue. And so what we did is I've harvested these chunks of resin from pine trees down at our other place, and brought it back up here, and we're going to melt it down real slow in a tuna can. And I'll show you all this in just a minute, but we don't want to heat it up too fast because we've already had one flame up. But I'll bring the camera over here and readjust in a minute and show you what we got going. But I've got it melting real slow, and according to Jamie Burley, you don't want to heat it up too fast. In my experiments with it as well, I've put it directly on the coals and got it really hot, and it was so brittle, even with some ash and charcoal in there, it just was too brittle for me to use. So we're going to do a different experiment today and trying to heat this up a little slower. And we actually tried a double boiler method. It didn't work out too well. What I had planned to do was to take this can, this soup can, I punched some holes in here with my Swiss Army knife, what do you call that thing?
The Swiss Army knife?
The Swiss Army knife awl.
The awl, yeah.
And anyway, punched a bunch of holes in there, and my plan was to set it up over my tuna can with the raw pitch to kind of strain out some of the bark and other debris that gets in there. Didn't work too well, couldn't get enough heat on it. So what we're doing now is we just got this directly in the coals off to the side, not directly on top of the fire. But you can see it's melting pretty good now, real slow. We're going to just melt down a little bit and make some pitch sticks. And let me readjust the camera and show you what we got going. That's what we have right now, and it's melting real slowly, and I'm guessing that's kind of what we want. If I can get out of the smoke. So we're just going to melt this down. It's going to have some debris in there that we probably don't want. I see some pine or some bark right there that we want to maybe get out, but we're just going to melt this down real slow. So there you go, guys. I'm going to bring some coals over and kind of spread around the outside of this cup and see if we can't get a better melt going without it burning up. Alright, so what we've got here is we've got some of this hardwood charcoal out of the fire, and as you can see here, we've got our resin melted up in the tuna can. So we're just going to let that stay warm there. But for now, we're making some charcoal just out of 2 rocks, and we're just kind of crushing this up so that we can add that to our pitch mix over there. So we're just going to keep adding some charcoal to it. We're going to grind this up as fine as we can get it. Now this charcoal is still hot, so that's why we're just going to break it down, let it cool, and we'll start adding pinches of this into the tuna can full of resin, melted resin, and see if we can't get it stirred up. We did not strain this, so we're going to have some stuff in there that doesn't belong, like that piece of bark. But what we want to do is try and get any of the big pieces we can out of it that's just bark or foreign. We didn't strain it out here. Joe and I tried to set it up where we could, but probably be a lot easier to make this at home, but we're out here at my shelter, so we're going to give it a try here. I think we're good here. We're going to go ahead and start sprinkling some of this in. Take a pinch of that. See how it starts coloring. There's different recipes for this. Some people say 50-50, but it's way too much charcoal in there for my liking. I just kind of eyeball it and see when I start getting the right color. This charcoal is going to act as a binder to help keep this stuff together. So this is some pitch right here that we're getting. I think we're pretty close to where we want to be. I think I'm going to add a little bit more in there. About 25% by volume is probably a good tick. Sometimes even less, and I think we've got a little less than 25% in there, just judging on what I've looked at here. So we're going to stir this up and keep it near the fire, and then we're going to go cut us some sticks to roll up on here, to roll up and make pitch sticks out of this. Alright, so once we get everything melted in with our charcoal and our pitch, we're just going to start making sticks here. What we did here is just, it's already hardened up good, so we're good on those, but we're just going to take a sharp pencil-like stick and begin to, this is already setting up pretty good, but you can just wet your hands a little bit if you need to. We'll drop that chunk, and it's actually gotten too cool to start molding, but we're going to do it anyway. Just want to kind of press it around now. You know, obviously, if it's too hot, you're going to burn yourself, and it will stick to you. So make sure that you don't have it too hot. I'm going to warm this back up just a little bit, because it's getting too hard to mold. But once we get it on there, we're going to just roll it between your hands, and you should have a little point on the end. So form it up. So now we've got pitch sticks. Got 3 of them here. And you can, this stuff will get really hard, but when we heat it back up, if you needed glue for something, then you just simply put it over fire, or either light it with a lighter, whatever kind of fire you got, and what will happen is it will begin to melt, and you will begin to see, you can apply it with a pencil point of your stick. So what I've got now is I've got basically a candle going with the pitch burning, but the stick, the pencil point of that stick is on fire. So we can sit here and apply that to whatever it is that we're gluing, and we've basically got a good hot glob of glue here that we can apply. So you can rub that on, drip it on, however you'd like to do it. That's pitch sticks out of pine resin, and I appreciate you watching. And if you would like, check us out on our blog at thesurvivalsherpa.com, and we appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching again, and keep doing stuff self-reliance, guys.